Sometimes I miss the simplicity of 6 axles.
In 300 meters, turn right onto Highbury Avenue South North.
Yeah, I'm not going to BC. Had to cancel that one.
In 600 meters, take the Ontario 401 West exit toward Windsor.
I never fuel here. It's always overpriced. I just stopped here to get DEF. So now I have a full tank. I'll get much cheaper fuel in the States. So 3 issues were kinda fixed by the shop. So I went there this morning and I started the truck and I took a picture. I had ABS and traction control light on. And I went inside. I said, guys, here's what I see on my dash right now. Did you charge me a lot for ABS? And the guy said, well, we charge you for 1 hour labor, I think. And so I said, what did you do? He says, well, we couldn't find any issues with any wires or anything. Everything looked good. He says, sometimes you get that light when you're stuck, you know, you're stuck in the snow or ice and your wheels are spinning when you try to get out. And he says that can throw off the light. It's 9 o'clock, Wednesday. I dropped my trailer, disconnected, put my rubber thingies. They do, as I mentioned before, they do nothing to protect the trailer, but just they help to increase traction so that the machine doesn't fall off. And these guys have a bunch of machines. I guess it's all for sale. It all looks pretty rusted. And there's a truck stop right next door. I showed up there at 9 o'clock. And you hear that sound? That shed over there, that's where they wash machines. And of course it has to be washed to go to Canada across the border. And the buyer called them yesterday and he said, I called them to make sure they know. And so I waited till my 10 hours, obligatory 10 hours was up, grabbed some coffee. But there was a lot of activity, a very busy truck stop over there, you know, these pickup trucks, like I got up at, I think I woke up at like 5, and then I just, and then I was just going in and out of sleep. Hold on, there's something on the, yeah, and so I was falling asleep and then waking up again. And it's pretty cold. Well, it feels cold. It's -5 Celsius, but it, like, my fingers are cold. And so I waited. I hate working at night, even though these guys open at 7, but the sunrise was at like 7:45, you know. So I took it slow, drove over here. Now I know the route, how to get in, instead of going through the crazy mountain over there. Because I've been here before. And so showed up, and they kind of like, you are picking up, sir, what? I said, well, goes to Canada. Oh, hold on. And they started running around, and then the manager comes out and she says, well, we're washing it right now. Our nozzle on our power washer broke, and we're trying to fix it. We ordered the part, you know. She said it's late, so we had to wash your machine. We had to rent a power washer from another company. And she said, because it's been cold, we were not sure when you're showing up. You know, it's always a surprise for shippers and consignees. It's always a big surprise when the truck shows up, right? I drove all day yesterday, and the buyer called them yesterday. What, he didn't tell him I was coming Wednesday? I sent him like 20 messages. We'll be loading AM Wednesday. We'll be there first thing in the morning Wednesday. Like, honestly, because he was kind of like, he wanted to know when you're gonna load. He already has a buyer for this machine, and that one was pushing him. And so, you know, and I always what people like about, like, honestly, brokers like working with me because I never fail to communicate. You know, every morning I send a message where I am, like I'm leaving truck stop in name of town, state, and when I know my ETA, let's say to ship or consignee, I give them my ETA. So I send them customs paperwork to this guy. I said, yeah, I arrived at shipper. So I already sent him like 3 messages as I was here. Arrived at shipper, checking in, we'll start loading shortly. Then I went in, I picked up the original certificate of origin. So this time all the paperwork is on the level. I have the original certificate of origin. And of course, as my luck would have it, the guy at the border will probably ask, where's the original bill of sale? We need both. Like every time, you know, every officer has their own understanding of the rules, but the original manufacturer certificate of origin from Caterpillar is the most important document. It has the machine, you know, certifies that it was built by Caterpillar in the States or whenever. I didn't read it, but I just checked the serial number of the machine, year, CAT, and so I sent him a message. I said, yeah, picked up the certificate of origin. The power washer broke yesterday. They had to rent a new one. They're washing the machine now. See, I'm always communicating, so people know what's going on. You know, with a buddy of mine, a freight broker from Alberta, he says he's always fighting truckers, because he says he books an appointment, then his shipper calls him, he says, where's your truck? He calls the trucking company, where's your guy? Oh, we're not sure. And then the guy says, oh, I'm 5 hours away. Like, what? Like, he never knows when he books a truck, he never knows exactly when the truck is coming, when it's gonna be there, when it's gonna deliver. Or he calls them, you know, like, hey guys, you were supposed to deliver like 2 days ago. I didn't hear anything. Hold on, let me check with the driver. Yeah, he delivered Wednesday, and today's Friday. Why nobody called me? And so I'm not like that, and I urge you guys, if you're independent, communicate. Brokers appreciate this. Shippers and customers appreciate this. It's just that sometimes it's frustrating, just like here, that I show up and we were not sure when you're coming. Like, to me, honestly, that's like funny because I'm 500 miles. I drove 500 miles, sending an email every day to the guy. But what sometimes happens is that, you know, you're communicating with your dispatch. In this case, my dispatch is the guy who hired me, right? But he's not communicating with the shipper. All right, I see something is moving over there. Something big and yellow. Let me guess. What is a Caterpillar 336 excavator? That's correct. 2,000 points for Mr. Captain DRATCHEV. Alright, I hooked up back, had to change the camera. I left the old one. I have the session on the seat, and I thought I turned it off, and then I picked it up and it's still running. Recording nothing, recording the view of a dashboard. Oh, check this out. It went down. So it's funny how all these machines, see, you don't put them, there was like this much space, now it's like this much. But I need to move it. Basically, I told the guy, I said, leave it like this, because you see, he didn't wash it very well, but I hope it's fine. See, that center of that big ring should be at least at my light over there, so I need to move at least 1 foot more. So, and I remember this was way up there, so it's funny how the hydraulics on all these machines, you know, it's, I guess it's leaking. And they always, like the previous one I picked up, had the same thing in here. And so this one, the grousers, the machine was sliding all over the place. When the guy was loading, it was a bit scary. That's why normally something like this, I wouldn't bother with the outrigger boards. But because it was sliding, I'm trying to remember. If I want to go, I want to lift the stick. So like this. Yeah, okay. And the bucket. Yeah, the bucket, if you move to the left, the bucket curls that way. Okay. So now we just need to move forward a bit. Somewhere there. So this will go up here. So the machine is up, so now I just need to put the air back in the trailer, because I think I took all the air off. Yeah, because this thing was, you know, so shaky. All right, what do we have here? Here we have, yeah, over here everything is in. All right. Yeah, you see how the wheels are above this? On this trailer, because of all these heavy loads. No, wait a second. It was already on. All right, now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm pretty sure I need 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you see, I got lots of room in here. And all I gotta do now is I have to retighten the chains, because as I always say, as soon as you lift the trailer, it's no use tighten the chains all the way, because they always be loose. See? So I decided I needed more exercise, so I put a bunch of chains. Don't do it at home, guys. But I was not happy. Yeah, see? This thing. But at least now I know that it's not going anywhere. So I got 2 on the frame in the front, 2 binders on the tracks, 2 on the frame in the back, and 2 binders. Come on. Two binders on the tracks, and then I decided to do this because, again, this thing has such huge grousers that I wanted to make sure it doesn't shift. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 chains. I could have put probably a bit more, but I ran out of the spots where to put them. Well, I decided not to go to the truck stop because I remembered over there it's pretty tight. You have to go around the building, and then there's a, you know, the pavement is quite hilly. A funny thing happened yesterday, I forgot to mention, is that there was a rest area. Like, I was running out of hours because I was driving all day yesterday. Shut down at 9. Well, I didn't go over my logbook, but because I didn't take those 30-minute breaks, you know, at one point I see my logbook says violation approaching. you have 40 minutes of driving time. And so I saw up ahead there was a rest area, and it says rest area, second left. Okay, and then I come to the first left, and it says rest area. I'm like, wait, so which way do I go? Basically, I went in the wrong entrance, and it's dark, and I went in the wrong entrance, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll just go around and park, but all the parking is angled towards me, you know, like I had to back out of there at night, and I'm tired, you know. Geez, that was something, you know. I'm just watching the front of my trailer. All right, let me see if I have to put it down a bit. It's okay. So yeah, that was quite an adventure. And then I waited 30 minutes because I still have a couple of hours, I think, of driving. I only started at 8 in the morning yesterday, so I had to follow this 11-hour rule. I could have driven up to 10, right? And so it was perfect. I just stopped there, waited 30 minutes, and then I had my e-log was back to you know, I had the time, and I just drove. I thought I would shut down here, but I wasn't sure if the gate would be open. Okay, yeah, I remember this. I remember this tight corner. Missed the mailbox again. It's unbelievable.
Turn left onto Ohio 124 West, Ohio 32 West.
Somebody hit the speed limit. Probably with the truck axle, because I see it was very close. And here is an interesting intersection, you know, 4-lane highway, and there's a turn in there, and I cannot stop in the middle. Well, at least there's the good thing is that they have lights in there. There's a light. Oh, check this out, Bronco. That's the first time I see.
Continue on Ohio 124 west, 31 kilometers.
I see actual Bronco on the street. Wow. +4. What is that? That's like almost, well, 40. I think it's 40F. 40F. What is this? 277 Kelvin? But I've I checked all my chains. 99% were pretty good, but the one on the stick needed some tightening. Son of a... That's it. I'm not touching it again. So there's a bunch of car dealers over here. Some Therapy, Cricket, Cellular, Jimmy John's, which is what? Which is like a smoke shop. Fast food places. And it looks much better in daylight. Oh, check this out. The plate on the FedEx says Alberta. That body is a long way from home. And over here we have, what is this? I think it's a Walmart. Yeah, it's a Walmart. And there's a Tractor Supply Company on that side. I like that one. Sometimes I go in there to see if they have my chains and binders. Well, all my batteries are dead. Hero 8, the battery is dead. 2 batteries have died, and then Session 5 is dead, but our story is still not finished. The story is, and by the way, I ended the day at the same place I was last time, Wapakoneta. And what happened on the way here is that I got a lovely lottery ticket. Now these look like this in Ohio, they're pink. So a guy pulls me over on just as I'm taking the ramp from I-270 to I-70. I look at my mirror, I see flashing lights, he pulls me over. Good afternoon, sir. Can I see your permit? Alright, so I give him my permit, and he looks at it for 2 seconds and he says, your machine is Caterpillar 336. Your permit says 330. He says, that mistake on the permit allows me to cancel the permit. So he says, let me check your spacings, your axle spacings. If your axle spacings are okay, then I might let you just do a revision of the permit. But if your spacings are off, then we might be doing something else. And then later he told me that he can, of course, as I know, because it happened to me before, if you have mistakes on spacings especially, they're very, you know, finicky, picky about axle spacings. So if you have your spacings wrong on the permit, they can void your permit, and then they look at your gross weight, let's say 140,000, 150,000, and they deduct 80,000, which is legal, and they give you a fine for pulling, you know, 70,000 pounds over the legal limit with no permit, because he just voided it, right? And then you have to buy a new permit. That's what happened to me last time. So I got a fine and had to pay for the new permit. In Ohio, they're pretty expensive. I think this one was $350. And so he comes back and he says, no, actually all your spacings are fine. So he says, I'll give you a small ticket for the error on the permit. I'm not gonna pull your permit, I'm not gonna void it. So if you can call your permit company and see if they can revise your permit, I will let you go. So, and that's what happened. So I called, but he says probably you will have to buy a new permit. I'm not sure if they can revise, but all he wanted me to do, just all this noise started because of the one digit was wrong. And I called my permit broker. I said, okay, that's it, I had it with you guys, you make mistakes. Okay, who made this mistake? And she says, what are you talking about? I said, can you please look at my application and tell me, does my application says Caterpillar 330 or 336? So if it says 336, then you guys made a mistake again. And the lady looks at my application online on her computer and she says, Sergey, you wrote 330. Son of a gun. So I made a mistake for some reason. I decided to put 0 instead of 6. And this guy, the cop says, you know, why we pay attention to this? He says, because sometimes people list wrong equipment on the permit, because that might be lighter, you know, let's say they overloaded, right? So but instead of some crazy 450 John Deere, you know, they put, you know, let's say 350 or something like that. So they pay attention to that, you know. And there was just, you know, honest mistake on my part. Of course I know it's a 336 FL, and so the guy was pretty nice actually. So I called yeah, so the permit lady says it was your blunder this time. I said, okay, I'm sorry. And I said, can you please see if they will allow to revise it? And the cop says, okay, I'm gonna go in my truck, write the ticket, and if you don't get your revised permit by the time I get back, I'll just escort you to the truck stop. He says there's a truck stop some 11 miles away. This happened on the ramp from 270 to 70 West in Columbus, and there's a Flying J, there's a Pilot, there's a bunch of truck stops just 11 miles west on I-70, and I was going that way anyway. So the guy says, yeah, I don't want you to sit here on the shoulder, even though like the shoulder is the size of a football field over there. That's why he stopped me there. It was pretty safe, and people, the lane was like, the main highway was behind another lane. So like here, people that are passing us are those people that are taking this ramp, and so it's like very slow. So it's like very safe for the cop, you know. There's no fast moving vehicles you know, 3 feet away from you. So I thought he would allow me to sit there, but he said, well, see what happens with your permit. And he gets back, opens the passenger door, and I hear my phone beep. And I said, excuse me, sir, 1 second, I think I got my permit. And I checked my email, and I didn't have to print it out. I said, can I show it to you on the phone? And right away he zoomed in with his fingers, and he says, yep, perfect. You're free to go, sir. So he gave me this, and I said, so how much is it? 2,000 bucks? And he says, no, it would be close to 2,000 if I pulled your permit and give you a ticket for being overweight without the permit. But he says, this one gives you no points on your license. Basically, it gives you no points on your safety record. It's just basically a clerical error on the permit. That's what it's for. And he says, we used to write the amount, but he says now they don't want us to do that. He says you have to call this number over here, Traffic Violations Bureau, somewhere in some kind of a county. Oh, Columbus, Ohio. And basically I call that number and I tell them number of the ticket. But of course it's useless to do it right away, so I'll have to do it probably in a couple of weeks, because it takes them forever to file it, you know. And he says usually it's like 125 bucks, 150 bucks, somewhere there. So I got off easy. It could have been $2,000, $3,000, you know, with this oversized stuff. That's why, boys and girls, you cannot do this stuff for cheap, because you're always under scrutiny from law enforcement, you know. Like this guy, right? I saw him. I was driving on 270 northwest towards the I-70 ramp. He was sitting, I noticed his white pickup truck. He was sitting in the middle, and I'm thinking, you know, you don't see that many cops driving pickup trucks. So usually these are truck guys, you know, like carrier enforcement, DOT, you know, enforcement. And sure enough, that's that guy decided to chase me. I guess he didn't like my long neck and my long 2+2 booster, and he decided to stop me and look at my permit. That's what happens. And Captain SERGEI got a ticket, a lottery ticket. So maybe I should buy a ticket, you know, like buy a regular lottery ticket, because I told the permit lady, I said, I sent her a message. I said, he let me go. I got a small ticket. And she says, she writes back, what do you mean small? I said, 125 bucks. And she says, oh, you're lucky. All right, that's it, boys and girls. Sorry for the long video once again. We'll continue tomorrow. So they're gonna change. The guy just confirmed that I'm delivering this to a Caterpillar dealer in Ontario. So it's gonna be sitting there for a couple of days. They're gonna be changing the tracks, because my customer already found a buyer, and that guy doesn't want these huge these tracks, you know. He doesn't like these. He doesn't need these big grousers, you know. So I'll have a couple of days off after this one, and after that I'll probably go to Eastern Canada again.